Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Or struggled to recall the name of someone you've known for years? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we age, small lapses in memory can feel frustrating, even alarming. But what if I told you that one simple, daily habit could be quietly sabotaging your brain, erasing memories, and slowing your mind without you even realizing it? Hello, I'm Dr. Linda Rose, and I've spent decades helping people just like you protect their minds and maintain sharp, vibrant memories well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Today, I want to reveal a discovery from a leading Japanese neurologist that highlights one everyday behavior that could be quietly destroying your memory. This isn't about complicated exercises, expensive supplements, or drastic lifestyle overhauls. It's about understanding a subtle, overlooked habit that has a profound impact on how your brain functions. Memory is not just about recalling facts. It's about living a life full of connection, joy, and independence. Losing it slowly can affect your confidence, your relationships, and even your sense of purpose. But the good news is that once you identify and change this habit, you can protect your brain and preserve your memory far longer than you might think. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, so you never miss a simple, science-backed health tip, designed especially for older adults like you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback is invaluable and helps me improve these videos for your benefit. Now, let's begin. Habit number 1. Skipping your morning hydration. One of the simplest yet most damaging habits I see in my patients is skipping proper hydration first thing in the morning. You might think, I drink plenty of water during the day, so mornings don't matter. But here's the truth. Your brain depends on water more than you realize, especially after several hours of sleep. When you wake up, your body is naturally dehydrated. Even mild dehydration can shrink brain cells, slow neurotransmitter function, and make memory recall much harder. I often tell my patients that memory lapses can start with something as simple as being just a few % dehydrated. Let me give you a real-life example. One of my patients, Mrs. Thompson, in her late 60s, complained that she constantly forgot names, misplaced items, and even struggled to remember short grocery lists. She insisted she ate well and exercised, so she didn't understand why her memory seemed to fail her. When we discussed her daily routine, I asked her about her morning habits. She admitted she rarely drank water before coffee and sometimes skipped breakfast altogether. I explained that her brain was literally dehydrated each morning, which made it harder for her neurons to fire efficiently. Within a week of starting a simple morning hydration routine, just one large glass of water before any other drinks or food, she noticed that her memory recall improved. By the third week, she was remembering names, phone numbers, and even appointments with more ease. Why does this happen? Water is essential for brain cells to communicate. It helps with neurotransmission, nutrient transport, and removing toxins from the brain. Even slight dehydration can reduce your short-term memory, focus, and cognitive flexibility. Imagine trying to think clearly while your brain is working in slow motion. It's no wonder you forget where you put your keys. Here's what I recommend. The moment you wake up, reach for a glass of water, ideally 8 to 12 ounces. Take small sips if it feels uncomfortable at first. Make it a ritual. You can even add a slice of lemon to boost circulation and gently stimulate your digestive system. Pair it with a few minutes of deep breathing, and you're giving your brain the hydration and oxygen it needs to perform at its best all morning. A small habit like this can feel too simple to matter, but consistency is everything. Skipping hydration may seem harmless, but over months and years, it can contribute to the memory struggles so many older adults experience. By addressing this daily, you're giving your brain a reliable foundation to store and recall information more effectively. So, don't underestimate the power of that first glass of water. It's an easy, natural, and completely free way to protect your memory every single day. Start tomorrow morning and notice the difference in clarity, focus, and even your mood. Trust me, your brain will thank you. Habit number 2. Excessive screen time before bed. One habit that quietly sabotages memory, especially in older adults, is spending too much time in front of screens, phones, tablets, or TVs, before bedtime. You might think that scrolling through social media or watching your favorite show helps you relax, but in reality, it can interfere with your brain's ability to consolidate memories while you sleep. I see this often. Patients tell me, I get enough sleep, yet they wake up groggy, forgetful, and struggle to remember simple tasks. That's because late-night screen time disrupts the brain's natural rhythm. Let me explain why this matters. During sleep, especially deep sleep, your brain organizes the information you've gathered throughout the day. Memories are filed away and strengthened for long-term recall. But exposure to the blue light emitted by screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to sleep. Even small delays in sleep onset or interruptions in deep sleep can significantly weaken memory consolidation. Think of it like trying to save a document on your computer while the power keeps flickering. Eventually, important data gets lost. I remember one patient, Mr. Garcia, in his 70s, who came to me frustrated. He couldn't remember the details of recent conversations or appointments, even though he seemed fully alert during the day. When we reviewed his evening routine, I discovered he spent at least 2 hours on his tablet watching videos or reading the news right before bed. I suggested he try limiting screen use at least an hour before sleeping, replacing it with a calming activity like reading a book, gentle stretches, or listening to soft music. Within a couple of weeks, he reported clearer thinking, easier recall, and even better mood in the mornings. Here's my advice. Set a screen curfew, ideally 1 hour before bedtime. If you must check your phone, dim the brightness or use a blue light filter. Create a calming routine that signals your brain it's time to rest. Simple habits like sipping herbal tea, doing light stretching, or practicing deep breathing can prepare your mind for restorative sleep. Over time, your brain will consolidate memories more effectively, and you'll notice an improvement in both short-term recall and long-term memory retention. Remember, your brain thrives on consistency. It doesn't need complex interventions, just small, intentional habits that respect its natural rhythms. Cutting back on late-night screen time may feel inconvenient at first, but the clarity, focus, and memory benefits are undeniable. By protecting your sleep, you're protecting your mind. Habit number 3. Neglecting physical activity. One of the most overlooked habits that slowly erodes memory is not moving enough. I often hear my patients say, I'm getting older, so exercise isn't really necessary anymore. Or, I just sit and relax, it's safer. But here's the truth. A sedentary lifestyle can silently weaken your brain and make memory lapses more frequent. Physical activity is not just about staying slim or protecting your heart. It's vital for maintaining sharp, vibrant memory at any age. Let me explain why movement matters for memory. When you exercise, your body pumps more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. It stimulates the production of proteins that encourage new neural connections, strengthens existing ones, and even helps your brain clear out toxins. In other words, moving your body directly supports your neurons and keeps memory pathways active. On the other hand, long periods of inactivity reduce blood flow to the brain, slow neurotransmitter function, and can accelerate cognitive decline. I recall Mrs. Patel, a lively woman in her early 70s. She loved reading and socializing but noticed she kept forgetting her daily plans. When we discussed her routine, she admitted she barely left the house and rarely walked outside. We started a simple plan, just 20 minutes of walking each day, combined with gentle stretching and balance exercises. Within a few weeks, she reported improved clarity, quicker recall, and even more energy during the day. Her brain was thriving because her body was finally moving again. You don't need intense workouts to protect your memory. Simple, consistent movement is enough. Walking, light jogging, yoga, or even household chores that get you moving can significantly enhance brain function. The key is consistency and making movement part of your daily routine. Pair it with deep breathing to increase oxygen supply to your brain and maximize benefits. Here's a tip I share with my patients. Schedule short movement sessions throughout your day. A 10-minute morning walk, stretching mid-morning, or gentle evening exercises can make a noticeable difference over time. Think of it as feeding your brain with the oxygen and stimulation it craves. Your memory doesn't just depend on your mind, it thrives on an active body. So, don't underestimate the power of physical activity, no matter your age. Even small, daily movement habits can strengthen memory, boost mood, and keep your brain flexible and alert. By committing to your body, you're also committing to your mind, ensuring that your memory remains sharp for the years ahead. Habit number 4. Overconsumption of sugary foods and drinks. One habit that many people overlook, yet has a surprisingly strong impact on memory, is consuming too much sugar. You might think a little sweet treat here and there is harmless, but regular intake of sugary foods and beverages can slowly damage your brain and impair your ability to recall information. I often see older adults blaming themselves for forgetfulness, without realizing that sugar may be quietly contributing to memory lapses. Here's why sugar affects memory. Excess sugar spikes your blood glucose levels, which can lead to inflammation in the brain. Over time, this inflammation can interfere with the communication between neurons, making it harder to form and retrieve memories. Studies have even linked high sugar consumption to a greater risk of cognitive decline and conditions like dementia. Think of it like pouring sand into a finely tuned machine. The engine may keep running, but the efficiency drops. I remember Mr. Wilson, a patient in his late 60s, who loved his morning pastries and sweetened coffee. He complained that he often forgot names, dates, and even where he placed important items around the house. We examined his diet and found that sugar was a daily staple. I guided him to gradually reduce sugary foods, replace sodas with water or herbal tea, and choose natural, fiber-rich snacks like fruits and nuts. Within a month, he noticed improved focus and fewer memory lapses. Over 3 months, he reported that recalling details from conversations and remembering appointments became much easier. The key is moderation and smart choices. You don't have to eliminate all sugar, but being mindful about how much you consume each day is crucial for brain health. Opt for whole foods, vegetables, and healthy proteins that stabilize blood sugar and support neuronal function. Pairing meals with healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts can further help regulate blood sugar and protect memory. Here's a practical tip I recommend. When reaching for a snack, ask yourself if it's nourishing your brain or simply providing a quick spike of sugar. Small, intentional changes, like swapping sugary desserts for fresh fruit, or choosing plain yogurt with berries instead of a sweetened snack, can make a huge difference over time. Your brain thrives when your diet is consistent, balanced, and low in excessive sugar. By understanding the link between sugar and memory, you empower yourself to make choices that preserve your cognitive function. This simple habit, reducing sugar, can protect your memory, boost mental clarity, and improve overall energy, ensuring that your mind stays sharp for the decades ahead. Habit number 5. Ignoring social connections. One habit that often goes unnoticed but quietly destroys memory is neglecting social interaction. You might think that keeping to yourself or limiting social engagements is harmless, especially if you enjoy solitude, but isolation can have a surprisingly strong impact on your brain. Memory is not just a function of neurons. It thrives on stimulation, conversation, and connection. When you withdraw socially, your brain receives fewer opportunities to exercise critical thinking, recall, and emotional processing, all of which strengthen memory. Let me give you an example. Mrs. Simmons, in her 70s, had been living alone since her spouse passed away. She enjoyed reading and watching television but rarely left the house or spoke to friends and family. Over time, she noticed that remembering even simple details, like dates, errands, or the content of conversations, became increasingly difficult. When we talked about her daily routine, I suggested she make small changes to reconnect with her social circle. Regular phone calls, joining a book club, or attending local community events. Within weeks, she reported feeling mentally sharper, recalling details more easily, and even experiencing improved mood and energy. Why does social connection matter for memory? Interacting with others stimulates multiple areas of the brain, including those responsible for language, emotion, and memory. Conversations challenge you to remember names, stories, and past experiences, providing a natural workout for your brain. Even light-hearted activities, like playing cards with friends or discussing news events, help maintain cognitive flexibility and neural pathways. Social isolation, in contrast, reduces mental stimulation and increases stress, which can negatively impact memory over time. Here's my advice. Make social engagement a daily habit, even in small ways. Call a friend, share stories with a family member, or attend a local senior group activity. If mobility or distance is an issue, video calls or online discussion groups can provide meaningful interaction. Pair social time with physical activity, like walking with a friend, to combine the memory-boosting benefits of movement and connection. Remember, nurturing relationships is not just good for your heart, it's essential for your brain. By prioritizing connection, you give your memory constant exercise, helping you retain information, recall details more easily, and feel emotionally fulfilled. Don't underestimate the power of a shared laugh, a meaningful conversation, or simply being present with others. Social bonds are one of the most natural and effective ways to protect your memory and maintain a vibrant, alert mind well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. As we wrap up, I want you to take a moment and reflect on what we've discussed today. Memory is not something that simply fades with age. It is a living, dynamic part of you that thrives when given the right care and attention. By addressing these 5 habits, hydrating properly, limiting screen time before bed, staying physically active, reducing sugar intake, and nurturing social connections, you are giving your brain the tools it needs to stay sharp, alert, and vibrant for years to come. I know change can feel challenging, especially when habits have been part of your routine for decades. But remember, even small, consistent adjustments can make a remarkable difference. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one habit, notice the improvements, and build from there. Each step forward is a victory, and your brain will thank you for every positive choice you make. Your memory is a treasure, not just for recalling names or dates, but for preserving your independence, your confidence, and the joy of meaningful moments with loved ones. By taking care of it today, you are protecting the richness of your life tomorrow. If you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and watch our other videos designed to help you age gracefully while keeping your mind and body healthy. Remember, simple, science-backed habits can create powerful, lasting changes. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep nurturing your brain, keep caring for yourself, and most importantly, keep believing that vibrant memory and mental clarity are absolutely within your reach. Your journey to a sharper, healthier mind begins today.